to help all those in pursuit of affordable, easy-to-find, world-class bourbons. We have another episode of Bottom Shelf Bourbon Bangers.
Bangers!
And if you want to find out what this week's Bottom Shelf Banger is, then stick around.
Special guest dancer, Sammy.
Oh, nothing.
We were hoping you'd get up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sammy's not going to dance, so I'm just going to go ahead and get right to the thank yous, okay? Because our patrons do dance, and they dance big time. They are our biggest supporters. They love our content here. They love the mission behind Bourbon Real Talk, more specifically, because they believe in the mission, just like we do. Making a difference in the world. That's what it's all about. You thought it was about whiskey? You came here for whiskey, and we have whiskey.
Yeah.
But we have much more to offer, and that is a good time for everybody, and everyone is welcome here at Bourbon Real Talk. So if you want to find out more about the Patreon, just like these people you see on the screen right now, the big difference makers, the big supporters of the channel, then stick around to the end of the video and find out more about the Patreon.
Yeah. Now, we have to do some disclaimers. And first off, every popular whiskey, especially the inexpensive whiskeys, have haters. And so there's going to be a bunch of people that are like, why would you even bring this up? That whiskey is a, drain pour and, whatever, right? But there's also a reason why it's popular, right? And the whiskeys that are mentioned in the Bottom Shelf Bangers are not meant to change your life. They're not supposed to be ultra complex. Yeah. They're supposed to be a pleasant drinker that's available and affordable, and probably something that you're not afraid to mix.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's supposed to be bottom shelf.
They've been making whiskey for like 100 years. So let's show a little respect.
Yeah, show a little respect. Yeah. All right. So, Wes, would you like to reveal what this week's Bottom Shelf Banger is?
It is one of my favorites.
Dun 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 dun.
Boom!
Boom!
The Evan Williams Bottle in Bond. It is in the green label. All right. Look for the white and green on the bottom shelf area.
That's right.
And you will not be disappointed. Listen here, guys.
We've
got a screw top.
That's right.
Let's give it up for the screw tops out there.
I'm embarrassed to admit that I ignored this whiskey for way too long. And there was one time that Wes was coming over to film, and somebody had set aside some bottles for us, and you were stopping to pick them up, and you were like, "Hey, do you want an Evan Williams Bottle and Bond while I'm here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so."
Yeah, it's like $12. Fine.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
And then I got it and I tasted it, and I was like, why have I been sleeping on this whiskey? It is a really
it is
really
a real good
product.
It is a really solid product, and it's a real person, Evan Williams.
Yeah,
he's a real dude in history from the 1700s.
Yeah, he immigrated to Kentucky in 1780.
Yeah.
In 1783, he started an illegal distillery operation.
That's why I love him so much, man. It's like a renegade.
He was a renegade.
He's like, dude, I'm doing it.
It gets worse. Like, he did some wild stuff, but he was indicted by a grand jury in 1788 for operating an illegal distillery.
Who hasn't been?
Well, I know, right? Back in 1788, it was like universal. Right. And he actually, in 1802, his distillery was also cited for dumping waste into the Ohio River, which is completely ironic because in 1797, he was named the harbor master, and it was his job to keep the river clean and to make sure that the people that were... Yeah. And so, like, he's over the river, and then he was like, I know how we can make money faster. Let's just dump all of our waste over there. And people are like, hey, isn't it kind of your job not to do that? And he's like... Who's gonna tell on me?
Yeah. Who's gonna be the one to stop me? You know?
So he was a bit of a renegade, but there is a historical marker about him being the first commercial distillery in Kentucky. Wow. That's just outside the Galt House.
At Louisville, right?
Yeah, yes. Louisville.
That's awesome.
So I remember my first trip to Louisville. I stayed at the Galt House, and I remember walking down and seeing.
Really?
That. Yeah.
Is it a pretty cool hotel?
That's awesome.
It's super dope.
Have you been there, Sammy?
Yeah.
Many times.
And a lot of the like the Mint Julep tours picks up there in the mornings and whatnot. So if you're
Is it real like historic looking and feel inside? Or is it
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's historic. One side is.
Yeah, one side is, and there's like this really historic looking bar with all this like oak paneling and all this stuff, and they've they've got a great selection.
The Mint Julep bar is on a gangway across between
Yeah.
the two.
Oh, cool. I like that. I'm going to
So
check that out next time.
It's a solid place, and they got the historical marker.
And just across the street, just down a ways, is the Evan Williams Experience.
Right, and so I mean, he is credited with being the first commercial producer.
I think he's probably one of the most slept on figures in history of whiskey that I know of.
Yes.
Like,
he wasn't
really
totally
impressive.
slept on because somebody realizing the historical significance of what he did decided to relaunch a brand in his name in 1957. So I don't know how long.
How long was it shut down? You don't know?
I don't know how long
That's
he
interesting.
operated for, but we know he started, in the 1700s. The brand was relaunched in 1957, but even a brand that's been operating since 1957 is a pretty big deal.
Absolutely.
Wes, what are you doing?
Dude, Jake, our BRTC friend.
Yeah.
I'm getting him some stuff for Christmas. I'm doing a little Christmas shopping.
Yeah, what are you gonna get him?
I'm thinking like they've got these really cool whiskey stones that are like you put them in the freezer for a while and then put them in your glass and they're kind of chill your whiskey.
Do you know Jake?
Yeah, he's like one of my best buds.
Yeah. Have you ever seen him drink his whiskey any way but neat?
No.
Okay, well that's probably not the best.
Okay, yeah,
answer.
all right, you're right. Okay, so rocks glasses. I'll do like they've got these really cool new style glasses. They're like got this cool shape to them. I'm gonna do those.
He has like 1 million whiskey glasses. Like he doesn't need more glasses for sure.
Well, I don't know what to get him then. Okay.
Okay. Well, I got some ideas.
Okay. What? Tell me. What do I need to
Bourbon
get?
Real Talk has some really nice sample storage boxes.
He does like samples. He's getting samples from. I mean, he's in the BRTC, so he's getting samples from people all the time.
Yeah. So there's several different sizes, but these are decorative wooden boxes that were designed to hold either 1 or 2 ounce sample bottles.
Okay.
And some of them are actually designed to be more like a gift, right?
Yeah.
So there's a space for you to store a whiskey tasting glass along with some samples so you can give those to a friend.
Perfect.
And then some of them are just to store all of the samples that you get being a good whiskey enthusiast member.
And I'm actually I've got a great idea. I'm gonna get this like engraved, like with his like name or something special on top.
Great news, we just purchased a giant commercial laser, and for a nominal fee you can have either logos, pictures, words. You can select your own font. You can have all of that engraved right
Yes,
here.
I'm gonna do a picture of me, like real big right here, so he always can remember how great of a friend I am.
Great idea. He could just put something right on top.
All right. Well, so they go to bourbonrealtalk.com. I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Go to bourbonrealtalk.com and pick up your storage box today.
All right. You can thank me later, Jake.
The bottle details on this one is it is a Heaven Hill distillery product. The SKU is Evan Williams bottled in bond. The age, because it's bottled in bond, and it is it has to be at least 4 years old, but it is rumored to be 5+ years old. The proof is 100 because that's the legal proof of a bottled in bond product. And it's SRP. I've paid $18.99.
And that's why it's a banger.
And actually, I buy this in the handles by the caseload.
Yeah, and it's cheaper.
And yeah, it's like $27 for a
handle.
$175.
Yeah, you do the math. You can get it down to around $12 for a bottle.
In fact, I'm buying 2 on the way home.
You
There
do
we
it.
go.
You do
Nice.
it. So let's. What do you say we taste this bad boy up?
I'm telling you, man.
This is so good. This is my house whiskey and the whiskey I use for all my barrel experience.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is Sammy. Tell them about your channel.
So my channel is bourbonandbooze.com. Started off just doing reviews of whiskeys all the time. We've done this one several times, but now we get into more news and distillery tours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Retired teacher, right?
Retired teacher recently.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And he
wouldn't you
travels the
love to have
world.
a teacher like Sammy back in the day? Like,
Right.
Hey, Sam, I know you got something in that bottom drawer, Sammy. I know you got a little something back there. Come on,
No,
hook it up.
Sammy was very responsible.
We
when
do
he was
travel a lot looking for whiskeys, primarily whiskeys around the world, but we also heavily invested in tequilas and vodkas and
Awesome.
local distilled stuff, which
Yeah.
is
That's
got
cool.
different.
Yeah, Sammy.
So his channel has a lot of like really super interesting niche stuff.
And his collection is impressivo.
Yeah,
Very
way
awesome.
more bottles than
Yeah, I actually told my wife I have a New Year's resolution to decrease it by 200 bottles because it's just
I'll help
crazy.
you with that.
Yeah. It's it can get a little bit insane.
Yeah.
So what are you
That's
getting
awesome.
on the tasting notes on this?
I get that classic peanutty.
It's peanuts for days, baby.
It's a classic bourbon aroma, bourbon flavor with the peanuts, but also that maple and kind of
Yeah.
a dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It tastes a little like a chocolate covered peanut or a
It does, yeah.
or like a caramel peanut, like a peanut that's encrusted in something sweet.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Well, like a peanut butter brittle? Is that what those are?
Yeah.
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 Unlike most of my friends, my sweet spot in proof is about 95 to 110. So bottles and bonds always fit.
I
Yeah.
love a good bottled and bond.
Yeah.
I really do. I like high proof stuff, but I mean, as far as a daily sipper, I loved like at Heaven Hill or an Evan Williams bottled and bond. Something right there around that 100 proof is perfect.
And this has just the touch of spearmint, so mint juleps and stuff like that. are
Great
excellent.
mixer. Great
Yes.
mixer.
Yeah. But good by itself too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's inexpensive enough that you don't have to feel guilty about mixing it, and it's a good bottle to have around when you have that friend that like they hit your bottles pretty heavily, but they may not actually know
Yeah.
like how important the bottle is. So you give them this, it tastes great, they're satisfied with
Yeah.
it, but they don't drink a bunch of your allocated stuff.
Right.
You know what, guys? This is probably my favorite bottle to throw into a double blind for people.
Oh
Yes.
man,
I
It
love
slaughters.
seeing people's face when they pick this number 2 or 3 or even 1 in a blind against some high world class whiskeys, and they're like, "What?"
What?
And
Yeah.
then they immediately go and buy one the next day.
Yeah.
I love to sneak this into a blind for somebody, and they're like blown away.
Yeah.
that
The
reason
proof
alone.
on this is such that back in the 70s and 80s when I was growing up, my entry to whiskey was Jack Daniels.
Right.
Which is
And back
pretty
then
much
it was
everybody's.
90 proof. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's. But I really wish I knew about this
Right.
and back then because I think this is probably the perfect entry for your friends that have never had whiskey. This is what you want to start them on
Yeah.
because it's not too powerful, but it's also not. I mean, Jack Daniels, I'm a huge Jack Daniels fan, but you have to have an appreciation for it. And it's hard to make that a gateway
Yeah.
where this is.
There's a little bit of overlap too in the flavor from Jack Daniels because I do get a bit of a
little banana.
nuttiness from Jack Daniels, a little bit more banana.
I get a
typically.
little more banana with Jack Daniels, but I do get a hint of it with this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a little
Every
subtle.
time you say that, I'm looking for Jimmy Russell.
Right? Yeah, I one time upset Jimmy Russell by saying I tasted banana in his whiskey.
gosh, yes.
Turns out I was wrong. I was tasting peanut.
Peanuts
But
and banana is so similar.
anyways, so what
I
do
think
you
we should give away some stuff.
let's give away some stuff.
I mean, he's trying to get rid of 200 bottles, so I mean, that sounds like a great.
Well, you would have to come to my house. I'm not telling you where it's at.
That's the cool thing about the whiskey community,
Yes.
Randy, is that people are always willing to share. That's what drew me into it is the community aspect, which we'll get to a lot of that in kind of our show philosophy here in a minute. But like we went over to Sammy's, man. This guy will not only wine you, but he will dine you. And his wife, who's behind camera, she can cook.
She
y'all.
can cook.
She can really
She can cook. She
and
throws
he
down.
can cook. And it was a great experience going over there. They not only like let you sip on whatever you want, but they're going to feed you.
And she tries to pair.
And she pairs well.
Yeah.
And it's like a really cool experience. So
And that's why getting involved in the whiskey enthusiast community is great because you meet a lot of people that have that heart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really awesome.
So Randy, what should we give away then? If they're not going to know where Sammy lives, which I understand,
Right. Yeah.
and they're not going to get to taste his great whiskey, what should we give away to the folks today?
Well, obviously, we're going to give away some of the Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, but considering you can get that down to about $12 per bottle, I didn't think that would get people excited.
No.
And
Yeah.
so
It should, but it won't.
I thought maybe we give away some allocated things that are from the same
Okay.
distillery. So we're gonna do a Parker Heritage in the sample pack.
That's the 10-year rye.
The 10-year rye.
So good.
And we're gonna do Elijah Craig 18.
Okay. Also Heaven
And
Hill.
so you're going to get 3 1-ounce samples in the sample pack. We're going to have 3 separate winners. And all you have to do to enter to win is like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, which will notify you of future content pieces and future giveaways, because we do one in every video. And then you have to go to YouTube, go below the video player in the description, fill out the web form. We will run a randomizer, post results publicly for accountability, and reach out to the winners, get your address, and ship you your samples absolutely for free.
Yep.
So could you tell the people how they could support the channel if they like this?
There's a ton of ways. The biggest way is to join the Patreon. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this, we kind of view the Patreon as a family trying to make a massive difference online and in real life around the whiskey community. And so you're not only just partnering to like, hey, I'm going to pay for these guys to be able to record these episodes. That's not what it's about. If that's what you're trying to do, save your money. We are trying to make a difference, and you'll hear more about that in the show philosophy. But the benefits aren't just for us. Like I said, we view this as a family. We want you to receive the benefits just as much as we do. So we give that back to you in the form of bonus content, special offers on merch on the website, distillery takeovers, where we kind of go into a distillery, we're kings for a day, we're tasting barrels, we're kind of getting the premier treatment there. We do barrel picks together, in-person meetups, and also virtual bottle shares, like where we get online and we just kind of sip some whiskey together and hang out. So it's worth hanging out with us. It's worth the time, and it's definitely worth the investment. So if you want to partner with someone who's really trying to make a difference online, and in a world that's kind of full of divisiveness and hate right now, if you really want to partner with some folks making a difference, we would love your partnership in that. So go check out the link in the description below.
Yeah. And you can also show support just by directing some of your whiskey purchases towards our merchandise at bourbonrealtalk.com. We have great opportunities for whiskey enthusiasts there. We've got bottle carrying bags. We've got aroma kits to help you develop your palate. We have specialized whiskey tasting glasses that reduce the ethanol burn so you can get in and understand what's underneath all of that burn. Yep. And a lot of other things that were all curated for whiskey people by whiskey people. And last but not least, I'm a residential real estate agent, and I operate in the Dallas and Houston metro areas. So if you need residential real estate agent services there, I'd love to interview, and if we close the deal, I'll give you an epic bottle as a closing gift. Yeah,
and Sammy, as we mentioned before, has his channel. Once again, that is
bourbonandbooze.com.
Bourbonandbooze.com. Go show him some love as well. You'll learn a ton from him. I've learned a ton from him, and so go check him out as well. Subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, we'd love to show him some love, because you've always been not only an amazing member of the whiskey community, but you've always been a big supporter of this show, even though you have your own channel, and I really respect that. So
for sure.
Show some love for that. And we'd love to tell you about why we're doing all of this. And of course, whiskey's great, and that's cool. But whiskey has a bigger role to play. And we believe that whiskey is a conduit to bring people together. And that's something that's important to me, because I lost a loved one to suicide who had lost a lot of social connections in his life before he made that decision. And I was looking for a way to make a difference in other people's lives so they didn't feel the way that my brother did when he decided to take his life. And I saw whiskey bringing people together, so I thought maybe I could start this channel and get you connected to whiskey, and whiskey do the rest of the job and bring others into your life in a positive way. But if you're going to do that, you do have to have some sort of a forum, and a lot of the forums are filled with the trolls.
Boom.
Wah, wah, wah.
You guys suck.
Yeah. And they're hateful, and they say mean things to strangers online because their mama didn't hold them enough when they were a baby.
Something.
She held them too much. I don't know what happened to them.
I bet their girlfriend broke up with them.
Probably.
For some guy in high school, and they never got over it.
Yeah, it could be that. That would
they've got to like assert their dominance somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. But they won't do it face to face.
No,
they're keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, but they did teach us a couple things. One, we need to start our own forum that wasn't filled with hate. We did that. Bourbon Real Talk Community. It's on Facebook. It's free. You can go join. Lots of great things going on there.
It's awesome.
And they also, because the community did so well, we were able to start a suicide prevention nonprofit called Live Stay Project. And all of that's administered inside the Bourbon Real Talk family. The second thing that those trolls taught us was that if they can hate a stranger online, we can love a stranger online.
Yep.
And that's why we end every episode the same way, and that's this. If you woke up this morning and you're unsure whether or not anyone loved you, just know that we love you. And we'll see you next time on Bourbon Real Talk. Cheers.
Cheers. Merry Christmas, we know that it is tough to buy for the whiskey lover in your life.
It is.
You go on Bourbon Real Talk, there is hundreds of options for you to get for that person in your life who loves whiskey and you're scared, you're worried, you don't know where to start. Well, we're here to help you out. We've got the top 5 items on Bourbon Real Talk that are perfect for the whiskey lover in your life. First off, we're going to start with the American Whiskey Aroma Kit right here. This bad boy right here, when they're nosing a glass, these things will help them train their palates to identify those top scents and fragrances within a whiskey. And it'll make them look like a really cool person in front of their friends.
Yeah, it makes them feel more comfortable about their whiskey journey.
Yep.
Another thing that we have, they may have a lot of glasses, but they probably don't have these glasses.
Right here.
And so the most common whiskey glass out there is a tulip-shaped glass, and that company was not very kind to me last year. And they asked me to stop selling my glasses that they thought were too similar to theirs. And that pushed me into an endeavor to design a glass that was specifically for high-proof American spirits.
And it's better.
And it is way better. There's a money-back guarantee on the website. You could buy this for a whiskey lover in your life. If they try the glass and they don't notice an immediate difference while nosing, we will absolutely give you your money back.
Okay.
What else do we have?
So they have a great nose. They got a great palate. They've already got the glasses. I bet they don't have this. How about a whiskey bottle carrying bag? All
Yes.
right, really nice quality. It fits 3 bottles in this one. We have a
6 bottle.
We got a 6 bottle bag. You could probably fit a couple more in here, but this is designed for 3 bottles. They can show up at their buddy's house. They've already got their whiskey bottles with them. They're opening them up. They're sharing them with friends, and it's a great option as a gift.
There's 2 others that I'm pretty excited about. The first one is my Advent calendar box. So if you're looking to give a gift to a whiskey friend, you probably can't go out and find Pappy Van Winkle and give him a bottle of that because it's so impossible to find. But you might have some nice bottles that you'd want to give them samples of, and you can build a 25-day experience for somebody in your life. This box holds 25 1-ounce samples and 2 small sample glasses, and all the half-size glasses that are on the market that I'm aware of all fit in these spaces, including my glasses, the glasses from that company that shall not be named, Perfect Dram, and several others. They all fit side in here. And so this is a great option, although we may be running out of time on this. But
What do we have?
We have another option for you. This makes an excellent gift as well. This is our 6 1-ounce sample pack. And so this could allow you to give sample packs to several of your buddies, maybe people that are just getting into the whiskey game, or somebody who doesn't have a collection quite as large as yours. This would work for that. It has a space for 1 tasting glass, 6 1-ounce samples, and for both of these options, we have customization. So you can put a custom message on here through laser etching. You could put your logo, your company logo. These could be corporate gifts, whatever you want to do. All of these things can be picked up at bourbonrealtalk.com, so check it out.